Hello, the topic of today are novel thermal and non-thermal technologies in combined processes. Well, in this group of technologies we can mention some of them like ohmic and infrared heating, microwave and radio frequency heating, radiation and high pressure technologies, etc. Today we're going to discuss about ohmic and infrared heating. When we talk about food processing technologies in general, we think about treatments that are related with the temperature, with high or low temperature. Well, in general, in food industry are well-known treatments with high temperature or heating, which these forms of technologies, of processing technologies, are probably the oldest means of processing foods and has been used by mankind for many years. However, the technology used to heat foods in order to process them has had a spectacular evolution during the years, and this evolution continues still till nowadays. Well, recently technologies as ohmic heating, infrared heating, or dielectric heating, like microwave and radio frequency heating, have been developed and replaced, at least partially or all, the traditional heating methods that were used till now. And these new technologies are applying mostly nowadays in food industry. Ohmic heating, well, for food processing application, ohmic heating may be defined as a process where an electric current is passed through the food with the main purpose of heating it. Well, under these circumstances, we can say that heat is internally generated on foods, and this because of the food's electrical resistance, and is exactly the simple fact which is responsible for the particular characteristics of this technology. Well, recently ohmic heating is considered or is placed among the novel food processing technologies. Well, this is correct because if we consider about the developments that are achieved, some scientific and technical developments that makes possible this technology to be applied in an industrial scale. As we said, ohmic heating is also called novel food processing technologies, or mostly novel thermal processing technologies, because the change in temperature is the main processing factor. Well, if we compare ohmic heating with other technologies, we can say that the main innovation brought by this technology is the way through which it allows the heating of the foods. Well, is this inductive heating, which is based on the generation of an electric current through the food, which is induced by the vicinity of electromagnetic fields, and is exactly this way how it generates heat from the product, from the food, which makes the difference of this technology with other technologies, with other commercially heat processing technologies, which transmit their heating by conduction or convection. But if we compare these technologies with other novel technologies, like for example with microwave heating, what can we find? Which is the difference? Well, we can say that in ohmic heating we can find some advantages, but the most important is that, for example, with ohmic heating, if we use this technology, the size of the product there's no matter, because the entire volume of the foods is treated at the same way. But when we talk about microwave technologies, the heating is achieved only in a certain depth of the product. So we cannot have the same treatment on all the food or the entire volume of the food. Well, also ohmic heating can be considered as a high temperature short time. These because the same temperature that we can create the products with this technology, it will achieve in a short time. This is positive for the quality of the food product, but also even in the microbiological safety aspects, because of the short time, many discussions have been done, because if is the current time for correct time to have this safety on pathogenic microorganisms. Well, in fact, the principal mechanisms of microbial inactivation are based on thermal inactivation. It is generally believed that destruction of microorganisms by ohmic heating is due to the thermal effect, and the electricity plays no role on inactivation. Well, recently many studies had clearly shown that there is a non-thermal effect of the application of ohmic heating on microbial growth. Well, at the end we can mention that the main characteristics of ohmic heating, besides the generating heat from the inside of the food, which means that it eliminates the problem associated with the heat conductivity, are the uniformity of heating and the improvement of quality with minimal structural, nutritional and organoleptic changes. These because, as we mentioned, high temperature in short time. This short time makes to save the quality of the product, but with the same treatment of the temperature. Well, besides the way how does this technology like ohmic heating generates heat from the inside of the food, there are some other aspects that differs this technology with other conventional methods. Like the first one is the need for electrodes that will be in contact with the food, and this is very important in this food industry because it is known about the presence of the electrodes. Well, there are some other technologies or novel technologies like microwave that electrodes aren't a necessity. They are absent in other technologies. The second one uses an unrestricted frequency. In this case, except for the specially assigned radio or microwave frequency range. And the last one is unrestricted wave utilization. Here, although typically sinusoidal, are used. Even because ohmic heating is part of the novel food processing technologies, we can find this technology applied in different techniques in food industry, like in blanching, evaporation, dehydratation, fermentation, pasteurization and sterilization. Because of the way how this technology can generate heat on food product makes this technology applicable on products that are specific with specific characteristics. For example, for products that are very sticky or viscous materials, or for example for fluids containing solid particles. Well, if we use other technologies to process this product, will be very difficult to have the same effect as we use Ohmic heating technology, because thanks of this electric current that passes through the food makes the possible to have a uniformity heating and an appropriate treatment about temperature of this product. In general, the application of Ohmic heating technology has been reported even in thermal processing of high acid food products. For example, we can find it in sauces based on tomatoes, or even in the pasteurization of fish pastas, or on the processing of meat products. Well, if some studies shown that the use of Ohmic heating to cook meat products like sausages and hams will give promising results in batch operation. Well, using Ohmic heating in this product, we have found to have an extremely reduced of cooking time. So, for example, a kilogram of ham was cooked in less than 2 minutes, and this is very good time to produce this product, because with the same temperature of treatment or of processing, we can save the quality of product because of the short time, very short time. In the same way, we can say that even for the costs, in this case, because of the short time, the costs are more lower in this case. Well, as in other heat processing technologies, Ohmic heating is generally used to increase the temperature of food material or food products to a point that the food is considered as adequately processed, or that the product or the food has had an appropriate treatment with the temperature. But how can we be sure that the proper treatment is being given to the food? So in this case exists the so-called cold spots, which must be identified and of course know their temperature. Once the cold spot is known, of course, even its temperature can be measured. These can be measured directly, or just determined by means of an adequate model. Well, with Ohmic heating, these cold spots are less known, because Ohmic heating has a big advantage of uniformity of heating. Beside this advantage, Ohmic heating have many other advantages, like continuous production without heat transfer surface, rapid and uniform treatment of liquid and solid phases with minimal heat damages and nutrient losses. Ideal processing for shear sensitive product because of low flow velocity, economic optimization and safety of food product, reduction of product degradation compared to a conventional heating, and better and simpler control of the process with reduced maintenance costs. And the last one is that this technology is environmentally friendly system. Well, we have talked about ohmic heating and about the advantages of this technology. But let's mention a little bit about the equipment that are a necessity for this technology. Well, in simple terms, we can say that ohmic heater can be built with a pair of electrodes, with a container in which the food will be processed, and of course power supply. The heater or the ohmic heater can be integrated into a batch, either in a continuous process. We have to mention that batch processes are mostly used to cook foods, for example, meat products, while continuous processes are more appropriate for viscous fluids or fluids that contains particles. The typical batch ohmic heater is an horizontal cylinder with one electrode which is placed in each extremity. Besides the advantages of ohmic heating, there are also potential problems with this technology. These problems are mostly with products that have low electrical conductivity values. Here we can mention the products with high fat content. In this case, this technology might not be applicable because the high power input required to process such products. Other disadvantages that we can mention for this technology are the energy costs of electrical heating systems. Well, these will be depended by the country where this technology is implemented. For example, if we talk about developed country, this electrical heating system is not a problem compared to other countries that are not so developed. The limitation imposed by the minimum and the maximum values of the electrical conductivity allow for a given throughput, which will limit the type of product that can be processed by this technology, by ohmic heating. The limitation imposed by the maximum power available from the local electrical supply, and the last disadvantages is the requirement of non-conductive material that is used to isolate electrical components. So these are some of the disadvantages of this technology, but compared to advantages, these are not so important. So we can say that ohmic heating is part of novel food processing technologies, and studies have shown that is good technology and with a great importance.